Hey everybody, this is Fariel, your US and Canadian immigration lawyer, bringing you the most up-to-date information on Canadian and US immigration law. Recently, I've received a lot of requests and questions on whether Canada is still accepting applications for immigration. So the short answer is yes, they are, both federally and provincially. However, due to COVID-19, of course, there has been delays in some programs, and some programs have changed their processing and their requirements. Today, I just want to talk to you about the Federal Express Entry program and what's going on, because that's the largest program there is in Canada. The mandate right now is to bring in 1 million new immigrants in the next 3 years. Unfortunately, due to the unforeseen pandemic that is going on, it's highly unlikely that this target will be met. The Federal Express Entry Draw has started to do more program-specific draws rather than the AllProgram Draws that we have been used to. So in fact, the last AllProgram Draw was conducted on March 4th, 2020. What I mean by AllProgram Draws is that most foreign nationals from outside Canada who have the necessary skills, such as education, experience, language, all the selection factors that Canada looks for, would be able to apply under the Federal Express Entry, and so long as their ranking score, so their comprehensive ranking score, is what has been the norm, they would get an invitation to apply. So on March 4th, 2020, the comprehensive ranking score was 471. So anybody with a ranking score above 471 would be able to be chosen and would receive an invitation to apply. Now, since March 4th, things have changed. Of course, everything is unprecedented now with the coronavirus and COVID-19 and the impact on various countries, Canada, United States, as I've discussed in my other videos. So what's happening now is called program-specific draws. So since March 4th, the program draws have been geared towards more provincial nominee specific or Canadian experience class specific. So the reasoning behind having provincial nomination specific draws is because Canada still has the mandate for provincial allocation. So they have to choose a certain number of applicants from each province. So in order to keep up with that allocation, Canada has decided to issue invitations to applicants in the express entry pool who have received a provincial nomination. As far as the Canadian experience class is concerned, the reasoning behind that is because most applicants who apply under Canadian experience class are already living and working in Canada or are studying in Canada and have a postgraduate work permit. So therefore, it's easier for them to immigrate because they're not subject to the travel restrictions and the Quarantine Act. So it's easier for them to get started in the labor market. This is unfortunate for a lot of applicants overseas who are trying to apply or who are already in the express entry pool and don't have a provincial nomination or have not worked in Canada at all. In order to qualify for the Canadian experience class, applicants must have 1 year of Canadian work experience in the last 3 years. So anybody who is currently on a temporary work permit in Canada or have been transitioned into a postgraduate work permit and are working, as long as they satisfy the requirements for the occupation and have 1 year of experience, they would be able to apply as long as they meet all the other requirements to be in the express entry pool. For example, if you're currently in the express entry pool, so you've completed your online profile and you're sitting and waiting in the pool, and a specific province sees your profile and decides to nominate you. For example, if Alberta decides that they see that you are an ideal candidate and they want you to apply under their program, they will send you an invitation to apply, and you would apply to the province. And then once you receive the certificate, you would get an additional 600 points added to your comprehensive ranking score. And this is because typically those in the express entry pool would receive an invitation if their comprehensive ranking score has been about 470 and above, because on March 4th, with the last AllProgram draw, the comprehensive ranking score that was required was 471. So obviously, if somebody is sitting in the express entry pool and their score is about 450, they would not be nominated under the regular express entry pool. However, if a province such as Alberta selects them and they receive a provincial nomination, they would add 600 points to their 450 already existing points. So they can use that towards applying for their permanent residency and to get closer to qualifying. So what does this mean exactly for out-of-country applicants who wish to immigrate into Canada? Well, the express entry application pool is still open. So you're still free to put your application in and get entered into the express entry pool. But remember, right now, the draws are program specific. So if you don't receive a provincial nomination, because if you're out of the country and you don't have 1 year of work experience, right now the only way that you would qualify is if you receive a provincial nomination. So still get your application in, and even if your score is around 400, 450, as long as you've qualified to enter the pool, you would sit there until a province selects you. Unfortunately, provinces are also delayed in their processing times, so that's going to take a little bit more time for people to get selected. We don't know how long this is going to go on. We don't know how long COVID-19 is going to impact the economy. But so long as this is happening, the norm will be to do program-specific draws and not AllProgram draws. Now, just some background statistics to show you what's been happening. On May 1st, 2020, the draw was specific to the Canadian Experience class. 3,311 applicants were chosen who had a comprehensive ranking score of 452. Now, 452 is much lower than the previous draws. On March 23rd, the comprehensive ranking score for Canadian Experience class applicants who were chosen was 467. On April 9th, it was 464. And on April 16th, it was 455. So obviously, it's been going down several points during each draw that has been happening. Now, just to give you some statistics on the provincial nomination specific draws, the last draw conducted was on April 29th, and the comprehensive ranking score for those applicants that were invited was 692, and 589 invitations to apply were issued. Prior to April 29th, the last provincial nomination program draw was on April 15th, and there were 118 applicants invited to apply, and their comprehensive ranking score was 808. On April 9th, there were 606 invitations issued to applicants with scores of 698 on the comprehensive ranking score. And on March 18th, 668 applicants were invited to apply under the Provincial Nominee Program, as long as they had a comprehensive ranking score of 720 or above. As of January 1st, there's been 34,300 invitations issued to applicants. So that shows that Canada continues to welcome immigrants. However, with the economic change and the pandemic, there have been changes to the program, which is obvious with the program-specific draws that have been conducted since March 4th. So the best thing is to get your application in and don't wait. I hope that I've provided you with important information. Please subscribe to my channel below and like my videos. Until next time, see ya!